Here with me today to discuss is Andrew Poulos with Poulos Accounting and Consulting and a tax software reviewer. Andrew, thanks for being here tonight.
Hi, Liz. Thanks for having me.
First of all, there are a lot of presidential candidates this primary season, Republican and Democrat. Many of them have already talked about their tax plans. Have you seen any of these plans that have stuck out to you as perhaps being the best way to boost the economy?
We definitely have a lot of candidates this go around. Everyone kind of has given us a little bit to think about and look at. We don't really have too much in-depth right now information. We have folks, obviously the leaders such as Donald Trump and Ben Carson on the Republican side who are offering their tidbits on strategies, lowering tax brackets in order to boost the economy. So it really depends on which way we want to look at it and how they want to spin it, because that's really what it boils down to, is what kind of spin do they want to put on everything.
All right, let's talk about a type of tax plan that several of the candidates have floated. They've talked about a flat tax, or taxing people the same proportion of their income regardless of how much they make. In your opinion, is a flat tax a workable solution?
Possibly. There's some that are proposing flat tax, and then there's others that are proposing, like Mike Huckabee, who are proposing the more along the lines of a fair tax, the sales tax, national sales tax. So it really depends on how you look at it. A sales tax along the lines of what Mike Huckabee is proposing is probably not going to be as fair to those in the middle class and poor households as it will be to those who make more, spend less. So it really just depends on how we want to look at it. The flat tax possibly may be, but what we don't know, Liz, is what happens with the flat tax. Do they eliminate the itemized deductions? Do they eliminate tax credits? What are they going to give us along with the flat tax? Because they won't just give us a flat tax, a low flat tax, and give us all the current benefits that we have to go along with it, meaning the tax credits and the itemized deductions. So they're kind of reeling us in a little bit by giving us some information, but they're not giving us a whole lot.
Right. No, I'm glad you brought that topic up, because Senator Ted Cruz talks about wanting to simplify the tax code to the point that each individual in our country only has to fill out a postcard in order to file his or her taxes. And that, I assume, is a flat tax. Can you explain to our viewers how a flat tax actually works? How even though some people will be paying less in taxes, overall the intake of the government is either the same, higher, or good enough to cover the programs that the government currently funds?
Senator Cruz is proposing a flat tax, as are a couple other candidates. Here's the challenge. If you've listened to some of the prior debates, Senator Cruz has said that in his administration, he's going to eliminate the IRS. My question is, if we go to a flat tax and we eliminate the IRS, who's going to be the collector? We still need someone. We still need an agency. As much as we probably all hate the IRS, they're there to serve a purpose, which is to generate revenues for the country. So the flat tax.
Right, but is that a separate issue from the flat tax? Whether or not it's the IRS, whether or not it's a pruned back version of that agency that's clearly out of control right now, even if we keep the IRS, that's not really the same topic as a flat tax itself. How does that specifically work?
Well, the way that Senator Cruz is proposing a flat tax means let's just say we go to a flat tax of 10%. So if you earn $100,000, they're going to tax you 10%, you pay $10,000. If you earn $1 million, they're going to tax you 10%, you pay $100,000. Okay, so that's pretty much what he's proposing. Again, what we don't know is the behind the scenes, what's going to come along with it. Do we get deductions? Do we not? The other big issue with the flat tax is flat tax may work great for wage earners, folks who work 9 to 5, get their paycheck, and that's it. What happens with the flat tax, and how do you tax all the small businesses out there which really run the country?
And how would that affect them? How does a flat tax affect small businesses different than it affects individuals?
Well, with small businesses, that's my question. That's what I would ask Senator Cruz or any of these candidates is, what do you do with small businesses? A small business owner, are you going to tax them the flat tax of, say, 10% on the gross, or are you going to tax them on the net? If you tax them on the net, what kind of deductions do they get? Because some of these candidates say they're going to eliminate deductions. So those are the challenges and the keys that we need to focus on as we progress into 2016 and these candidates start getting more in depth with their plans, because small businesses are the complexity of the issue, and that's really who is getting the brunt of all the all the challenges with the tax code right now and the complexity of the tax code. So
right, and those are
really
certainly characteristics of the tax plans that we need to keep an ear out for as the candidates start to reveal more details. But in your opinion, what are some of the other elements of tax plans, both in the positive and the negative, that we should be listening for as either qualifiers or disqualifiers as candidates show us what they would do with our tax money?
Certainly. We need to look at what they want to do with the itemized deductions, which is going to be a hot topic as we progress along. What about investments? Hillary Clinton has thrown something out there as far as the investment tax. She wants to create higher tax brackets of 24, anywhere from 24% on the low end to 39.6 on the high end for investments that are held less than 6 years. To me, that's kind of unrealistic, because you're telling someone who may be an investor, such as a real estate investor, if you buy a real estate property today as a foreclosure that has some potential gains, you're asking someone to hold it through 6 years to save on taxes, to be taxed, say, at 24% instead of her plan of 40% roughly. So the person's going to miss the boat, because the reality is, in 6 years in a real estate cycle, it's gone up and it's gone down, as we all know how real estate works in this country. So to me, that's just one of the things I'm looking at with her plan. Itemized deductions. My big issue with itemized deductions, and all these candidates talking about they want to either phase out or eliminate some of the deductions, they want to keep mortgage interest and charitable contributions, of course, right? What about the medical deductions? That's huge. That's a huge impact on a lot of households. With the Affordable Care Act under the Obama administration, they have increased the phase out as far as how much we need in medical deductions to be able to claim medical deductions as itemized. Okay, so these candidates want to eliminate the medical deduction. We already have a healthcare problem in this country. Now they're pretty much trying to tell the American people that, guess what, under my plan, you're not going to get to deduct your medical expenses or your $1,000 a month in health insurance. To me, that's just,
Right. We definitely need to keep an eye out for which deductions they plan to either continue or which they plan to keep. And hopefully, as the next debate, the next GOP debate in December comes closer, and then during the debate itself, we'll hear more details of those kind of minute details within the plans themselves on what the candidates plan to do with their tax plans. Andrew, I appreciate you coming on. I hope you'll come back as they reveal further details about their tax plans, and you can discuss that with us then.